In just a matter of days, the peaceful land of northern Thailand was swallowed by a sea of water. Lush green rice terraces and quiet mountain villages were suddenly buried under flash floods and landslides. People fled in panic as rescue teams raced against time to search for the missing. The disaster began with the remnants of a tropical storm that had seemed to fade far away, Typhoon Kajiki. And this tragedy did not stop at one village. It spread all the way to the historic land of Sukhothai, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In Macham district, days of relentless rainfall had saturated the soil until it could no longer hold. In less than 48 hours, rainfall exceeded 12 inches, with wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. Water cascaded down the mountains, carrying mud and debris that buried an entire village. Survivors recalled waking to terrifying sounds: the roar of rushing water, the cracking of earth and rocks as if the mountain itself was growling. Banthong village, located by the Makam River, was the first to be swallowed. A local farmer, Samchai Ratnapong, who had lived there all his life, only managed to grab his daughter and run as the flood struck. His home, livestock, and every belonging were swept away. At dawn, the devastation was revealed. Over 60 homes damaged or destroyed, cars and animals scattered in the mud. Roads linking Macham to the outside world were blocked, bridges collapsed, and rescuers could only reach the area by helicopter. Teams from Chiang Mai and nearby provinces deployed search dogs and drones to locate the trapped. At least 7 deaths were confirmed, including 2 children. More than 10 people remained missing among them. A 1-2-year-old girl who was last seen clinging to a tree before vanishing into the raging waters. The disaster didn't just wipe out villages. The famous elephant sanctuary in Mang was also submerged. Waters rose over 10 feet, breaking fences and sweeping away animals. 2 elephants, Plang Mor and Phang Fasai, drowned in the flood. For the caretakers, it was a devastating blow. This sanctuary had been a refuge for more than 120 rescued elephants. Through tears, the park's founder said, "We tried to move them to higher ground, but the water rose too fast. It was one of the darkest days we've ever faced." Thai authorities quickly declared Macham a disaster zone. Schools and temples were turned into evacuation shelters. Over 1,200 residents were relocated to safety, provided with food and medical care. The Red Cross and multiple NGOs rushed in with supplies and psychological support for those who had lost everything. A volunteer doctor explained, "We're not only treating physical wounds, but also helping people cope with trauma. Many lost entire families, along with the memories of their lives. Infrastructure was heavily damaged. Bridges collapsed, power was cut, and communication was patchy. Macham Hospital relied on backup generators. Engineers grew alarmed as the Mangot Dam reported water levels at 113% of capacity. Officials insisted the dam was stable, but the risk of rupture left the region on edge. The tragedy deepened further. On the 28th of August, torrential rains battered central Thailand, flooding Sukhothai, the ancient capital and UNESCO World Heritage Site. In just 36 hours, rainfall topped 14 inches, far above seasonal averages. The Sukhothai Dam reached 108% capacity, forcing an emergency water release. The surge swept across farmlands, homes, and roads. Districts such as Nuang, Kong, Krylet, and Simong turned into vast lakes. More than 12,000 people were evacuated. Elderly residents and children had to be airlifted by boat and helicopter. At least 9 deaths were confirmed, including a young boy who drowned while trying to save his dog. Most heartbreaking of all, the historic ruins of Sukhothai's centuries-old temples and Buddha statues were submerged. UNESCO and Thai conservationists scrambled to lay sandbags and pump water, desperate to save parts of the priceless site. Images of ancient Buddha statues reflected in floodwaters spread across social media, a haunting symbol and a plea to protect humanity's heritage. Meteorologists explained that this disaster was fueled by multiple forces: the remnants of Typhoon Kajiki, an active Madden-Julian oscillation, a negative Indian Ocean dipole, and unusually warm sea temperatures in the Gulf of Thailand. Together, they created an extreme rainfall system that unleashed massive amounts of water in a short time. Scientists warn that this is no longer rare. As global temperatures rise, Thailand's floods are becoming more frequent, more unpredictable, and more destructive. In 2011, the country suffered historic floods that killed over 500 people and caused billions of dollars in damage. This year's disaster was on a smaller scale, but it is a clear warning of greater threats to come. The floods in Thailand are not just about numbers. They left deep scars on the people. Children cried in shelters. Elders sat silently staring at the ruins of their homes, scenes that revealed the fragility of human life against nature's force. Society was thrown into crisis. Transportation routes collapsed. Local economies stalled. Farmers lost crops and livelihoods. Tourism, a vital lifeline for many communities, suffered a heavy blow. Health risks grew as stagnant water and broken sanitation systems threatened outbreaks of dengue fever, diarrhea, and leptospirosis. The natural environment was also ravaged. Landslides stripped away soil and forests, rivers filled with mud and debris. These damages will cast long-lasting shadows on ecosystems and human health alike. This disaster reminds us that climate change cannot be taken lightly. Drainage systems, hydropower dams, and flood defenses must be upgraded urgently. Early warning systems must be more accurate and widespread, giving communities time to prepare instead of being caught in the dark. Flood management must be coordinated across provinces, not handled in isolation. The floods in Makam and Sukhothai are a painful wake-up call. They show us that disasters can take away not only homes and lives, but also centuries of cultural heritage. The question is, are we ready to adapt to a harsher climate? Because if not, tragedies like those in Thailand will only repeat, and each time, they will be more devastating. Thanks for watching this episode of Raging Planet. If you found this story important, please hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more powerful insights on climate, nature, and humanity. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Some visuals in this video were used for illustrative purposes and may not represent the full event. Always stay updated with local weather alerts and have a safety plan ready for you and your family. See you in the next video.